Good evening and welcome to UP News. I'm your host, Wade Norris. Tonight we're with Julia Hicks. Julia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Wade.
How you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. Well, the Democratic Convention is coming to Denver this next year, this next August. We're about a year out now. In fact, this is the year out date for the nomination of the next president, the Democratic candidate.
Yes.
Who's going to be the next president?
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about recreating 68 and convention worries about groups protesting and starting some problems, but not just exercising their free speech, but just some issues with that. You've been to, how many different Democratic conventions have you been to?
Well, to tell you the truth, the first one was 1968, and we were the ones outside making all the noise in 68 because number one, we weren't old enough to vote, and number two, we needed to change the look of the party and the look of this country. And I've been going ever since then. I lived all over the country, and I've been going ever since 1968. The next one around, I was actually a delegate, so it's real different when you're a delegate.
68, even though you were 19, the law hadn't been changed to let 18-year-olds vote.
No, it had not.
And most of the Democratic Party, especially in the South, was
white.
Old white men.
Old white men, and they really didn't bring too many minorities into it, and that was the reason we were out there. Not only that, we were still fighting the Vietnam War. We were old enough to go to war, but we weren't old enough to vote, and we weren't even old enough to drink. But we were old enough to die for this country, and we had to change it, and that's what we did. That's why 68 happened.
Do you see a lot of parallels between 1968 and 2008?
No, I don't. No, I don't. And I think that's the biggest problem because when they talk about recreate 68, what are they talking about? We had an agenda. We weren't protesting for just the protest. We were protesting to change. And we were that generation that did change things. We're the baby boomers. So there was a lot of us, and we could make a lot of noise, and we knew what we were doing. These kids today, I don't know what they mean by recreate 68. Most of them weren't born in 68, so they have no idea what it was all about. They need to talk to some of us veterans. And there's a few of them around here in Denver that they could talk to. And we could say, what are you doing this for? Are you doing this because of the Iraq War? Well, give us a chance. Let us get in the White House first. Don't mess it up. I said, we didn't care if we messed it up in 68 because we knew no matter who got in there, it was going to still be the same old, same old. So it didn't make any difference if a Democrat got in or a Republican got in. But this time, it makes a big difference. We need to make sure that when we get in this time, and it has to be a Democrat, that we will be able to stop that war over there. And it's not going to happen overnight. It didn't take us overnight to get there, and it's not going to take us overnight to get out.
So if you had your chance to meet up, would you say that meeting up with Recreate 68 would be maybe a good dialogue to find out from the old school what the new school is trying to do?
Exactly.
So tell me about, like, what were the police doing back in 68 to, let's say you're a regular protester or just an activist. If you're a youth in that situation, what were the orders back?
The first thing, their orders were from Daley, the mayor of Chicago, shoot all looters to kill. I don't know why he thought we were looters. We weren't looting anything.
So it was up to the cops to decide whether you were a peaceful demonstrator or a looter.
Exactly. No one was a peaceful demonstrator in 1968. They didn't care. They came at us with hoes, with billy clubs. They came at us with anything they get their hands on. They were beating us up. They were putting us in the paddy wagons. We would lock arms and they just beat us. It wasn't like in the Civil Rights Movement where they pick you up. They just beat you. And they were also, they started firing tear gas at us and we started to run. I was standing in front of the hotel when they threw Tom Pavement through that window, through that glass window.
Now for our viewers, what was that about?
Okay, Tom Pavement, he sort of was the leader. He would eventually marry Jane Fonda. And he was the leader, and he was from California, so he was the one that was keeping us going, that we needed to change the Democratic Party. He went into the hotel, because that's where all the dignitaries were staying. And when he went in there, they told him to leave, but he wouldn't leave, so they picked him up and threw him through a plate glass window. And in 1996, when we went back to the convention in Chicago, he saw me across the street. He was doing a television interview, and I was doing a a television interview for people from Denver, and he waved at me talking about, come over here, come over here. I said, oh no, I'm not coming over there. Last time I was with you, I almost got thrown in jail. No, you just stay over there and I'll stay over here. And he goes, guess where I'm staying? I'm staying right here where they threw me out. And I was like, right on. But see, that's the kind of stuff that we wanted to change, you know. And people got to understand, what are they wanting to change? What do you want? Get inside. Because once they let us inside the party, we turn it completely around. And you can see that today as who the delegates are that go to the convention.
It's a lot better representation of what.
Oh, it looks like America. It looks like America today. You know, you got rich, you got poor, and you don't have to buy. You don't buy your way into the convention. People actually vote for you to be a delegate to the national convention. So anybody that's been involved in the Democratic Party can run and possibly win. It's not a simple thing to do, but if you really want to do it, you can get it done.
So Julia, you've been to conventions ever since 1968, and we're looking forward to a great convention in August of 2008. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, and John Edwards will be our next president. I can guarantee you that. All right.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Wade Norris, your host for UP News. You can check out this interview on ultimatepolitics.net, and we'll see you next time.